Movement for the Republic and Democracy, MRD, Washington, May 22nd, 2025. To the attention of Mr. Filippo Grandi, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, Geneva, Switzerland. Subject: distress of Rwandan refugees and indigenous Congolese populations threatened with forced return to Rwanda. Mr. High Commissioner, the Movement for the Republic and Democracy, MADI, hereby wishes to express to you its deep concern regarding the dire situation faced by Rwandan refugees present in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Amopo DRC, particularly in the regions of Goma and Bukavu, which are now under the control of the Rwandan armed forces operating under the guise of the M23 armed group. This letter follows the one sent on February 14, 2025. To His Excellency, the Secretary General of the United Nations, in which we had already raised the alarm about the serious threats facing Rwandan refugees, victims of the repressive regime in Kigali led by President Paul Kagame. Unfortunately, recent events have confirmed our deepest fears. We are witnessing, on a large scale, forced deportations of refugees back to Rwanda, the very country they fled from, due to networks of persecution. These acts are clearly in violation of Article 33 of the 1951 Geneva Convention relating to the status of refugees, breaching the fundamental principle of non-refoulement. Even more concerning, these deportations are being facilitated by certain components of the HRC operating in Goma. We have been informed that these deportation operations affect not only Rwandan refugees held in custody, but also Congolese citizens of the same ethnic origin or who speak the Kinyarwanda language. These Congolese are being dispossessed of their property by M23 rebels supported by Rwandan Defense Forces at the DF and are victims of serious abuses, including the destruction of their identity papers on the unfounded accusation of belonging to the FDLR. Can we really believe that the elderly families and children shown in these videos are combatants? We urgently ask you to closely monitor the fate of the many refugee men, the absent among those expelled, who are feared to have been arrested or even disappeared. The women and children transferred to Rwanda cannot possibly represent the entirety of the affected populations. We consider these atrocities to be the direct result of the prolonged impunity enjoyed by certain key actors of the Rwandan regime and the M23 for more than 30 years. Under the leadership of Paul Kagame, the perpetrators, sometimes described as a killing machine, enjoy an impunity that makes the worst human rights violations possible. We would like to recall here the importance of the mapping report published by the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights in October 2010, which catalogues the serious human rights violations committed in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, violations that could be classified as acts of genocide if they were thoroughly examined by the appropriate courts. 15 years after its publication, this documentation remains largely ignored. More than 10 million Congolese are believed to have lost their lives. Millions of women have been raped, and atrocities continue daily in areas occupied by the M23 in the DRC. Among the main targets of this violence are Rwandan refugees and Congolese populations deemed undesirable in the east of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. In light of these facts, we urgently request that the necessary measures be taken to put an end to this violence, that the HRC ensure the effective protection of Rwandan refugees still present in the Democratic Republic of the Congo who have been abandoned by the international community, that the perpetrators of these crimes against humanity be identified, prosecuted, and brought to justice in order to break the cycle of impunity once and for all, that the HRC investigate the fate of refugees forcibly returned to Rwanda, especially the men whose disappearance is a cause for concern. While awaiting concrete and urgent action on your part, We thank you, Mr. High Commissioner, for the attention you will give to this appeal, which is made in the name of human dignity and international law. Please accept you, Mr. High Commissioner, the expression of our highest consideration. On behalf of the key MRD, NT, Madam Christine Coleman, Chair, with copy sent to and His Excellency Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, His Excellency Donald Trump, President of the United Nations, His Excellency Emmanuel Macron, President of the French Republic, the Secretary General of the European Union, the Secretary General of the African Union, His Excellency Félix Antoine Tshisekedi, President of the DRC, His Excellency Evariste Shimi, President of Burundi, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of Tanzania, the Director of Human Rights Watch, and the Executive Directors of Amnesty International.